Hello dear ladies and gentlemen, this is your Ukrainian guide Elena, and just like you, and I'm sure all the Ukrainians, I'm watching what's going on in Russia. And we're very excited to see, because the events are very promising. It looks like the military takeover is happening right now in Russia. The terrorist group of Wagner that was fighting alongside with the Russian army in Ukraine, that invaded Ukraine, is now turned over and it's moving to Russia to fight with the terrorist state of Russia, with the army of the terrorist state of Russia. And while we are talking right now, it's already early morning in Russia, and we'll see these fighters of terrorist group of Wagner in Rostov-na-Donu, which is the Russian city, and there are some shootings right now on the way to Voronezh, which is another Russian city. And there are reports that Wagner terrorist groups are moving on the heavy machinery, on the military vehicles, and there are at least two columns. One is 50 kilometers long and another one is 80 kilometers long. These reports are not verified, but this is what we get from various sources of information. What we can see in the videos that are being published right now, many of them, and I'm kind of can't stop watching them, is that in the city of Rostov-na-Donu there are tanks on the streets, and there is the building of the headquarters of the Russian army that is encircled by the Russian fighters of Wagner, and looks like they are already in control of the building. There are some military helicopters flying there. We can see some Russian army probably, or some other, I don't know who are they, but they are not Wagner, but they are just standing in the city and just watching Wagner tanks moving in. Well, what can they do with their guns against the tanks? Yeah, this is not like Ukrainians who were stopping Russian tanks with their bare hands. It's interesting to see how people are, young people are filming these tanks on their phones, not being afraid. They don't know yet that these tanks can shoot, can kill, can drive over the civilian cars. So they are not afraid yet. At the same time, we see a massive missile attack on Ukraine right now, and there were 20 missiles flying towards Kiev. All of them were shot down by the air defense, but the debris, they caused very serious destructions. Like one residential building was damaged very, very badly. There are some headlines right now. Is it the civil war that started in Russia? Well, I would not call it the civil war, because this is like one terrorist group fighting against the terrorist army. And people, as you can see, they are quite passive, maybe just scared, maybe they are hiding in their homes or just doing their work. We can see there are like just civilian cars driving. It looks like they don't care or what, or at least maybe they are confused, maybe they don't care, maybe they support one side or another side, but they are afraid to say it out loud. We'll see soon. Well, I of course would love to see Moscow burning, and I don't care how it calls civil war or military takeover, of course. And at the same time, I do understand that Prigozhin, Wagner, is not a superhero. He is not better than Putin. He is just one of the heads of this demon, of this dragon. And now simply what we can see is that evil is eating evil, which often happens. And like many experts, from the very beginning of this Russian full-scale invasion, they were saying that this is going to happen. That they will start fighting with each other. And there were some, some signs of that before, promising signs. but that looks like really serious, like real. And I'm watching the news the whole day today since it started. So just how it all started. So the terrorist group of Wagner is like a private military company with its boss whose surname is Prigozhin. They were fighting very well against Ukraine. They invaded Ukraine alongside with the Russian army. They recruited people for money, and they also recruited many people from the Russian jails. That means different people who were killing, raping, stealing, and so on. And they were very successful on the front lines. They were very hard to fight with. And Prigozhin, he was criticizing Putin, and that looked weird because it was like the only one who is criticizing openly Putin and is saying some truth in a way, saying that the Russian army is fighting not well enough. That was him. Today, Prigozhin on his Telegram channel, he posted a video that the Russian army attacked their Wagner positions. Like they were hit from the back, and that many people were killed. Well, the video looks a little bit strange to me because there are no like foxhole, everything is covered with the grass. It's such a dense green forest. At some point you can see like one dead body somewhere in the bushes probably, or one like arm lying covered with blood somewhere, but you don't see like really the result of the massive missile attack like you were seeing it before in other places on the Ukrainian front lines. But they were claiming that they were attacked by Russian army and that many people died. And then Prigozhin posted an audio message on his Telegram channel that they were betrayed and they are moving to Russia. He never said a word about Putin personally, but he was saying about Gerasimov and Shoigu, the guys who were commanding the Russian army, that they betrayed their Russian soldiers and they were not fighting well, and that they were... He said that Gerasimov decided to liquidate the terrorist, his group of Wagner, which is a terrorist group, of course. I don't see really him saying what is, the final target of this movement to Russia. It's all very pathetic. It's all like he's saying, we'll go across Russia, join us. He never said we will go to Kremlin, to Moscow. That looks like that's what they are going to do now. Prigozhin he keeps posting audio messages on his Telegram channel, and this is the way he was always like communicating, and like many people were following this Telegram channel. And I was always like surprised by my husband is subscribed to all of these Russian Telegram channels of their propagandists of, but now I understand why, because you can see a lot of interesting information. And if before that was simply disgusting to read it, now it's very exciting to read it, how, rats are eating each other because they cannot get the cheese and they start eating each other. Still disgusting. So here we are. Prigozhin claimed that they have crossed the Russian border, that the guys at the border were not stopping them, they were letting them go, that all those troops that were on their way to Russia, they just gave them the way. At some point he said that they were attacked from the helicopter, but they hit down the helicopter, and there is a video that looks like Wagner shooting at the helicopter. Then there were some shootings on the way to Voronezh, well, I wish we could see more of these videos and we could see 24/7 what's going on over there. So in Russia, they already limited the access to internet. In Moscow, in St. Petersburg, in these places, the internet access is limited. and they made a breaking news program at night on the Russian state TV channel, the main one, where they said that everything is under control, that Russian army was not attacking Wagner Group, and that Prigozhin is the bad guy, and that already the criminal case was opened against him. So at this point, we realize that it's not kind of information attack from the part of Ukraine or whatever. That's really something huge is happening over there in Russia. It was said that Putin knows the situation. His spokesperson said it, but we haven't heard yet, any direct quotation of Putin's words. He didn't say anything to the cameras yet. Maybe he will not anymore. When the Soviet Union collapsed, they were showing the belly, the swan dance, the swan belly on the Russian Soviet main TV channel, one of the very few that existed back in the days. So now we all are waiting for the same belly to be on the Russian TV channel. So, to make it clear, whatever happens, Prigozhin is not better than Putin. It's just, bad guys fighting bad guys because they couldn't reach the common goal, to rob, steal, kill more of Ukraine. So they are now deciding what to do. But it could be a very nice chance for the Ukrainian army to continue its counter-offensive, to put more efforts to liberate my country, my home. So maybe we'll come back home soon. That would be great. Well, guys, we'll see what's gonna happen. Thank you that you spent this time with me. Sorry I wasn't posting much recently. I feel like I need to make another video about that, but everything is fine with me, with our family. We are back to Georgia, doing some important stuff over here. So, love you. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.